A few, a, a few. Let's get into it. A few good movies. A few, a good, a few, good, a few. Let's get into it. A few good movies.
Okay, welcome guys. It is the beginning of October, my favorite time of year. I mean, we got cooler weather coming, hopefully. It's the fall. It's Halloween season. What's not to love?
Yeah, it's already chilly here.
It's hot as hell
can't
here.
wait. It's very hot, and I cannot wait for it to get colder. Anyway, welcome everyone to this episode of A Few Good Movies. I'm Zach Dame, and with me is Chris Porto.
Hello.
And Sam Rasmail.
Hey guys, what's up?
Man, I feel like I'm just getting into the Halloween spirit now. I've been listening to my Halloween music playlists. I'm going to start watching some scary movies.
Time to bust out the dead man's bones.
I'm wearing a Halloween spooky shirt today.
What is Dead Man's? I'm wearing a normal shirt.
Dead Man's Bones is the Ryan Gosling. They've only released one album. It's him and a friend, and it's like these gothic horror love songs that are amazing.
And Ryan Gosling is the singer?
Yeah, him and his buddies. He sings and they play all the instruments, and it's pretty raw sounding, and they have a children's choir backing all the songs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's become a real favorite of mine.
Yeah. I think last October I listened to the album every single day.
And honestly, like, I would love to make a movie one day featuring that music.
We wrote that script, remember?
I know. I didn't want to reveal too much, but yes, I mean, I would love to make a movie that features, or see a movie that features all that music, because it would be awesome for it.
Yeah, I listened to that while we were writing. I was listening to that all the time.
Yes, our never to be released or seen horror script,
or talked about ever again after this episode.
It was fun exercise though. And now I don't want to tease too much here, but suffice it to say, this whole month of our podcast is really dedicated to getting into the Halloween spirit, if you will.
Yeah.
So just teasing up some of our topics to come. The next couple topics, they're going to be pretty good, pretty fun Halloween sort of themed things.
Yeah.
And I look forward to that.
So
what have we all been watching since the last time we got together?
Well, nothing Halloween themed yet. Although I thought the pandemic special, South Park's pandemic special, was pretty on point.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's pretty funny, and it's an hour long. It's just, it's South Park. It's like, cliche South Park being hilarious, but it was actually a very endearing episode. South Park is never usually emotional, but towards the end, you're just like, oh yeah, we're in a pandemic. This is real.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read some review that it really hits the nail on the head.
Yeah, and they do they just like our last episode, they break the fourth wall and tell people to go vote, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think, Sam, or you texted me something about somebody breaking the fourth wall. Oh, I think it was during the
debates. Yeah, Biden was all over that.
See, breaking the fourth wall, man, it's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, we can get all political if you want, but we're here to talk about movies.
Let's keep it light and happy. That's what makes this podcast
spooky.
Fun.
Yeah.
Let's keep it spooky, always. My motto in life.
Thinking about spooky movies, I remember one watching the one movie I watched as a kid a lot was Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't watch it. Like, I haven't seen it since I was like maybe 18. And
I'd recommend going back to it.
I don't think so, man. Things are better left to memory. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it holds up. I mean, it's a charming film.
I watched it
Although
just last
I will
year,
say,
and I loved it.
If you're gonna watch a movie every year for Halloween, make it Trick or Treat, because that's an amazing horror anthology film.
I haven't.
It is a good one.
I saw Halloween,
but
the original Halloween last year. I still love it. And then I think
great.
I saw the. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Halloween, the reboot came out, or the sequel.
I think it was.
Wow.
I think it was
sequel.
last year
Last Halloween.
because this year was supposed to be the second one, but now it's next year, and then the other one was pushed back further.
Wait,
So-
maybe it was 2 years ago. That sounds about right because I think I wasn't. I remember seeing it with coworkers, and I was
it was
working
last
on
year.
Homecoming. Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, somebody
Homecoming was 2
fact check us on that. and
Yeah,
tell
I think it
us.
was
It might have
2018.
been. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you're right.
Well, okay, I got to go back to Hocus Pocus and
Sure.
and defending it because um,
I wasn't
I think it
attacking
is-
it. I just don't want to, rehash
I
it.
think you would like it if you saw it now because it actually is. It's a really good movie and it's got a lot of just genuinely good elements in it. Like who's that famous character actor that plays the zombie? That's in
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. I mean,
Yeah.
he's amazing as the zombie character.
He's really good. He's a Hoosier.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Because we're Hoosiers too, Chris. For those that
Don't tell anyone.
don't tell anyone, we're from the Indiana state. And then
Well, wait,
even
you
the
guys
the
didn't
three
go to
lead characters.
You guys didn't go to Indiana State, right?
No,
Oh,
we're
no.
just
Well,
from
Hoosiers.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, not to get technical, but Indiana State is not the Hoosiers. Indiana University is Hoosiers.
right,
IU.
right.
Indiana State is something different,
Okay.
and neither of us went there.
Okay.
there. Yeah.
But you're also a Hoosier if you're from Indiana. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I get it.
Or a
It's-
redneck.
yeah.
So October to me has always been about playoff baseball, and it's full on playoff baseball right now.
I don't want to talk about that because I just watched the Cubs get swept
I know
in 2
that
games.
was. I can't believe
The poor
Miami
Cubs.
is actually advancing. They're. I didn't think
I
they were a good
honestly-
team. They have some good players, but
I don't know. I think it's just that the Cubs aren't that good right
well,
now.
best
more
of
than
3
the-
series is really kind of a coin flip. I think that's brutal.
Yeah.
But
It is brutal, but they just literally their bats just went to sleep
yeah,
the last week of the regular season, and that's it.
their bats have been asleep all season, in my opinion. But
They
their
were in
pitching was
first
holding
place
up.
in their division,
I know their pitching was holding up though.
but you can't if you don't score runs, you can't win.
It's true.
Anyway, what were you going to say about baseball? Other than
No,
the
that's
Cubs?
just like what I can like. October is one of my favorite months because of playoff baseball, and it's like it's like we're kind of in the full swings of football, and
football. Yeah, man.
it is like kind
Football
of this
actually
glorious
is
moment.
feeling. Football right now is it actually kind of feels like a real Sunday, waking up and
Oh,
watching
yeah.
football. Like
Yeah.
I'm less aware that there aren't fans in the stadiums. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like baseball, I was super aware there were no fans, but I feel like football, it's easier to get away with.
well, they do a lot of they pump in the sounds and stuff, but I
Yeah.
do feel like being in LA, the fall or autumn isn't real here. It's like it's not what like even in Indiana, I'm sure like it's so much different on the East Coast that it just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like autumn yet. I still feel like it's like we're in the middle of summer. It's
yeah.
also 100 degrees out today. So
If you're talking about the weather, yeah.
yeah.
I've been here long enough now where I appreciate a good Los Angeles autumn
Yeah.
when it you know what I mean? Like the weather doesn't get too cold, but it gets chilly. It's nice. Let's not talk about weather on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Wow.
move on from weather.
They've already tuned out.
Yeah, that's not maybe the right. Anyway, anything else about? I don't know where we were. Let's talk about movies
but
we watched.
let's talk about more horror movies because there I don't know what your quintessential like Halloween like besides Halloween, which I assume you guys watch on Halloween
Sure.
or around Halloween. What would be
Yeah.
other movies you guys watch around this time?
I mean, I'm going to try to do something different this year and watch all stuff that I have not seen before.
Okay.
Interesting.
So like I've got a couple on deck right now. I did sort of a cheat because I didn't watch a movie yesterday, but I did finish a series that is horror, and that was The Outsider, the Stephen King HBO series,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
which was excellent. So I would highly recommend that. I don't know if you guys have
Where
seen
is that?
it.
That's on
HBO, The Outsider.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And it's funny because we
Well-
talked about Doctor Sleep last time, and I
Oh,
had
yeah.
mentioned I mentioned I think Stephen King works better as a series, and then after that I watched this series, and yeah, I totally stick by that thought.
The Outsider.
Did you ever see Castle Rock? Because that's another Stephen King.
I haven't. I
Based
watched like
show.
2 episodes, and it's kind of. I wasn't drawn into it that much.
It's not based on a specific thing. It's just more of like a blend of a bunch
Well,
of.
isn't
Yeah,
like
it's like
Castle Rock his
stories.
universe?
Yeah, that's like the town in a lot of his stories, and
Yeah.
that show just seems like the Stephen King cinematic universe is
Right.
it's all
kinda
in
what it
one.
is.
I know, like
And
season
I've
2
seen
had
both
Misery.
seasons.
The
Yeah.
Oh,
character
there's a
from
season
Misery.
2. I didn't even realize there was a season 2.
Yeah,
Mhm. I
Yeah.
like them both. Speaking of series, I mean, it's interesting that we're all going to like watching horror series, but last year Netflix had the Haunting of Hill House, I think it's
yeah.
called,
I need
Yeah.
to watch that.
which I loved that. That was so good. And there's a sequel coming out.
Bly Manor is coming out.
Yeah.
Right, which is I think actually not a sequel, but the same sort of like it's a sequel. It's an anthology, I guess, an anthology series. So
Yeah.
This is a new story by the same creators.
Like American Horror Story, kind of.
I think so, but
Oh.
yeah, Chris, you got to get on watching that. It is
That
there
might
are some
be a
parts
thing
that
I
are
do.
so terrifying in that season,
Yeah,
and then just some amazing filmmaking that I won't give away for you, but just some episodes.
That's what
that
I've
truly-
heard. I haven't seen it either, but I keep hearing it's amazing filmmaking. So I guess
There's a Warner episode. There's a Warner episode that's pretty
Oh, that's interesting.
special. Yeah.
Uh,
And there's all these little details. Like I don't want to, and maybe I'll tell you this part because it's kind of fun to look for. But there are Easter eggs hidden throughout the entire series where they'll put these little details in where like there'll be like hidden in the background like ghosts or like a statue will move slightly, and it doesn't have any relevance to the story. But like people who watch it looking for it will find little things as they watch. And
when I watch
the
horror
detail's
stuff,
awesome.
especially ghost stuff, I am always staring at the shadows.
yeah.
and,
There's
like, the
oh my
background
god,
and stuff.
there
So I might.
there's a character that floats above the ground by like 6 inches, and like his cane just hits the ground as he walks. It's pretty crazy. It's very scary. Anyway, that would be my series recommendation.
well, there's also the big Netflix's
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Stranger Things. I mean, they're not releasing one this year, but they started production again, which might be interesting. Is this their last season, or is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is, yeah. I'm a little bit like over that whole thing, but man,
Yeah.
you remember when the trailer came out for the first season? It just looked so cool. It was such a big deal. And the first season especially really it executed exactly what you thought you were going to get from it. It created sort of this whole, I think that was sort of the start of this whole bringing back
The
sort of
80s.
80s nostalgic stuff.
yeah, totally.
And oh man, the hype behind it. So I'm always down to see them, but it feels a little like it's past its time a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we say that now, but I thought season 3 was awesome, and
Oh, really?
I'm not really.
Nah.
I'm not like super hyped for 4, but I know when it comes out, I'm probably gonna be all over that immediately.
Yeah, I end up
Yeah.
And I
watching
hope it's
them.
good.
Yeah, I always end up watching them, but I never am like satisfied. Even the first season, I don't think I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." It just felt like, "Oh, you're ripping off all these great '80s movies."
Oh yeah,
So-
that's what it is.
I will also
It's totally
admit
what
that
it
I
is.
am not. I wouldn't even classify horror as one of my top 5 genres. So that's there's that.
So you're tough to please in the horror category.
Yeah,
Your
I mean,
mileage is
it's
gonna
really,
vary.
It's really got to be like it's really got to be Halloween or Get Out or like something that is like substantial for me to actually think it's a good movie. So
Well, it's gonna make this month for you very interesting
yeah.
with our choices.
Yeah.
Well, we may not be getting a Stranger Things, but 11 is in something right now on Netflix that I've seen, and I
Yeah.
think Sam has seen it too.
Yeah.
Enola Holmes.
The Enola Holmes, yeah. Which I thought it was supposed to be a TV series, but it's a movie.
It's
and
a movie, yeah.
I'm not actually sure. Like, I think the production value is great. And I think it does look like a good, like it looks interesting, but I didn't know where it was really going. I know she's just looking for her mom, and that was it. But she was.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like her flirting with her. I mean, I don't want to reveal too much, but like, it just kind of, it reminded me of what's that Sofia Coppola movie about Queen or something?
Oh, Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, it reminded me of that, but
Oh.
Sherlock Holmes' sister.
So I'm confused by this. Does Sherlock Holmes canonically have a sister? I've never heard of this.
I don't know, but I think there's so many different
I don't know.
iterations.
I think they just made it up, which
He's
is
got
fine.
a brother in
but-
the movie
Yeah,
too.
it's like Wicked, where they made up, or I guess it's not made up, but they made up a whole story about the other witch.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Sherlock has always had a brother.
But I thought there was some.
Well, it's a younger sister, so it could have just been after the fact.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There was
Yeah.
some dispute over, because like Sherlock Holmes is copywritten, but only a certain type of Sherlock Holmes. So like they can't have Sherlock Holmes be endearing in a way, and because he was in this movie, there's like grounds for a
Oh, I heard
lawsuit.
about this.
Yeah,
Right. That's
it's so strange.
weird.
I've never heard of like suing because the character is the name is the same, the premise is the same, but the characteristics of the character are too similar, and
I mean,
there's
that's like
grounds for
saying-
a lawsuit.
It's like saying, I mean, that could have been a character, like an actor choice to make him more endearing.
Wasn't it?
Well-
Wasn't it
Blame
Henry
the actor?
Cavill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. I mean,
It's in the. I'm certainly in the script. They
Well, yeah, exactly.
did certain things that make him more endearing, but then it's also the way he plays it. So it's really hard to prove that or define it. Really.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know how you
curious.
would do that.
That's part of the reason why I watched it, but I was just curious. I didn't even know that was like a thing to sue.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a pretty serviceable movie. Like, it's entertaining. It's not going to be mind blowing, but it's a fun little mystery. And it does kind of prove that Eleven can do more than just play 11.
I think
Yeah.
she's a
Find
great
out.
actress. I really do, and I'm glad that she's like doing different
more.
stuff. But yeah,
She's got a little more range.
like Godzilla
and
versus
this-
King Kong.
was she in that? What is that?
That's coming out. She is
Oh.
in that.
Oh, hey, there you go. Didn't even realize
She
that.
produced the Enola Holmes movie too. Apparently, her and her sister found the book and decided to produce it.
Oh.
So I guess there is
okay,
a
so it's
book
based on-
somewhere. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't want to get into like how the book got written. Who
Yeah.
knows? Speaking of horror films, I did see one other film that I think was pretty horrifying. That's The Social Dilemma, documentary about social media and such. Did you guys see that one yet?
I did see it, and I think one of the documentarians, Kareem, I can't remember his last name. He also did The Great Hack, which is about Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, which is also amazing.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and it shows how social media is basically rotting your brains, or more so like
Yeah.
taking over your kind of unconscious.
Yeah. It's a really important documentary to see. I feel like
Yeah.
people should see it because I think most people don't really fully understand the inner workings of the algorithms of Facebook and Instagram and all of that, and
Yeah.
how we're treated as a commodity and not as like a human being. That's kind of what it's all about. Is like,
yeah, there's a
um,
quote where it's like there's only two people that call their customers users, drug dealers and tech companies.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But I will
And,
say
yeah,
I know people who work in the tech industry, and there are some scare tactics in that documentary. It's not like they're trying to they want you to just use the app. They're not trying to get you to
Right.
commit murder and crimes. Although
yeah, it's not
they're
quite as
not stopping
devious.
it either. That's the problem.
And the people they interview in the movie even say as much, that like, oh, they don't think that anybody who's making these apps is trying to make something that's this destructive and detrimental. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
And it mainly is like, if you're not paying for something, you're still paying for it in some way. And that's
right.
What they're saying is the payment is like your information and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
pretty terrifying.
Where can you see this?
That's on
that
Netflix.
One's on,
and I think I think the Gray Hack is on Netflix too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should see that one. Honestly, it would just be
Yeah.
helpful to understand the context of.
Yeah, and why
it helps to explain like why there's such a like people are so divisive these days, and
Yeah. I mean, just to sum it
confrontational.
up, I mean, watch the documentary so you kind of get a bigger understanding of it. But just to sum it up, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube especially, I know we're on YouTube right now, but they are trying to get you to keep watching their stuff and keep using the stuff on their websites. So they will they'll recommend things that might trigger you in a way where you're like, this is unbelievable, I have to click it. And then next thing you know, you believe that, Pizzagate, and where you believe that the earth is flat but
right.
it is just to like
customizing.
kind of get you to keep using the website.
Yeah, it's weird. It like customizes individually per person, like the order in which you see things and the order in which you get advertisements, and the whole purpose is to keep your eyeballs on the screen. In fact, they even said that like search results, like autofill on Google, will be different depending on your geography, like literally city to city.
Yeah.
It
That
will
makes
change.
sense.
Like, is climate change real? Is climate change a hoax? Like, depending on what state you live in, what city you live in.
Yeah.
It's that like perfectly defined. It's scary stuff. By the way, follow us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook for more content like this.
Yeah. That is the issue with social media.
Hey,
there
man,
are
it's the
good
nature of the
things
beast.
that can come out of it. So it is a thing of like, how do we sift the good from the bad?
Right. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. The point they made was it needs to be regulated, I think. I'll watch the documentary.
Yeah, definitely.
Decide for yourself.
Definitely.
All right. Well, if that's it, I think
I've got
now
one
is it.
more.
Oh, Chris. Okay,
Actually,
go.
I've got two more.
Do it.
We could be quick. We've got a few minutes. So, speaking of things that are kind of horrific, I also watched Chernobyl.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
Was
pretty good.
also just amazing. I can't believe it's from the writer of the Hangover movies. For one,
It's a tough watch. That's a really tough watch.
yeah, it's
pretty dark.
If you want something horrible to watch in October, that's not necessarily well. I actually think it is kind of scary.
Yeah.
That's a
disturbing.
great one. Yeah, it's really disturbing.
Yeah,
They go into a lot of detail, on
especially
what,
the dogs episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just all around fantastic acting. The music is excellent. The directing is excellent. It looks amazing.
I think she won
Um,
an Emmy for the music. The composer.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I could see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought the music was incredible.
The whole scenario, though, I mean, it's just so hard to imagine that it all really happened.
Right.
It's just so wild to think about.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's
Yeah.
scary. A friend of a friend is actually from Russia and lived in one of the towns when that happened.
Yeah.
And-
It's what's crazy is it
literally-
didn't even happen that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. It's really well done. I think everyone should watch it.
Mhm.
And then I finally finished the first season of The Boys. I don't know why. I watched a few episodes of it when it first started and kind of went on to other things. But like that's really good. If you're into like just kind of R-rated superhero stuff, that's really excellent. Season 2, I've already started that. I'm like 3 episodes in, and it still maintains that quality. And I love Carl Urban. I've always liked him.
Which one is he in?
Carl Urban, he played Dredd in the Dredd remake.
Right.
Not remake, but
Yeah.
the newer Dredd.
Mhm.
He was in Lord of the Rings and Thor Ragnarok. But yeah, he's such a good anti-hero. And just all the actors in that show are great. And I just love what they do with the sort of DC superhero archetypes.
Yeah.
And they kind of have a little bit of a. There's some characters that resemble some Marvel characters, but I don't know if you guys have even seen the show.
I've caught bits of it.
The
too. I don't
really
seven
follow
the
it.
seven are basically the Justice League. Like they're all
Yeah.
they have a counterpart in Batman's there, Superman is there. They're all there. But like
That show doesn't pull any punches either. Like it
no.
it
It
does
is
some gross things.
very violent, very gross.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uncomfortable stuff in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's
They're
fantastic.
not afraid to just go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that goes back to my thing of there's just so many comic book movies and TV shows out there that like
Well, yeah, but this thing does
gets lost in the
it
mix.
does something that the other ones don't do.
what about the Ellen Page one? It feels very similar to the Ellen Page one.
To Super?
No, the Umbrella
Not Super,
Academy.
no, the
Oh,
Umbrella Academy.
see, I haven't even seen that.
I haven't
it's
seen
the same
that
thing.
either.
It's like a dark kind of
Well,
R-rated.
Well,
you
I
know,
think The Boys is
superhero.
The Boys is different because it's as if they were like problematic celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're basically
Where I think
manufactured celebrities.
Yeah, and I think the Umbrella Academy is like they're supposed to be undercover, right? They're not out in the open, right? Like they're not. There's not toys and stuff.
I don't
for
really
them.
know enough about
Okay.
it. Other than that, it's also
I think
like
Umbrella is more of a traditional like
Yeah.
superhero story, but not like a Marvel or a DC, like a darker kind of superhero story.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought
But-
The Boys was like is as if the Justice League or the Avengers were just pieces of shit celebrity assholes.
Yeah, that is
That's
basically
exactly
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're simultaneously playing like because not only are they superheroes for real, but they also are the stars of their movies and their brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
And like reality
the Marvel.
shows and
Right.
Yeah.
but just like
It's an
they
interesting
don't
concept.
give a shit about humans really,
Yeah.
Right.
like or the collateral damage they cause or anything like that. And they're all like just kind of evil people.
hmm
And the bad guys, who would be bad guys in any other show, are the heroes of the story, which are the
Yeah.
boys, the mercenaries, led by Carl Urban.
Yep.
But anyway, I've probably
That's
gone
a
way
fun
too
one.
long on that.
No, that's a good recommend. It's
Yeah.
a good recommend. I got to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then on that note, now it is time, I think, to get to the topic of the week. Yes.
Yes.
Next week's episode.
All right. So this is a special week
Yeah.
coming up because we have a special guest.
Yeah.
He is a friend of Sammer and I. He's a colleague that we've worked with on a couple of shows, and his name is Chad Peter. So that'll be really fun, and that also means that we'll be watching four movies
Yep.
this upcoming week, and
My
also
God.
that Chad picked the topic. So we're going to tell you the topic, but we'll leave it to Chad to explain why he picked it and all that good stuff
Yeah.
during the episode. So without further ado, next week's topic is cosmic horror.
Yep.
What do you guys think? And we should just
And-
define it really quick because it's a really hard
Yeah.
thing to define.
It is.
Who wants to do it?
I don't want to do it, but I will say Google it.
We
as
talk about
well.
it extensively in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We'll save it for
Sure.
when we talk about it in the episode. But it's cosmic horror. Who wants to give their movie? Sammer, why don't you give yours?
So I picked Mandy. It came out in 2018. A lot of people I think it's a cult classic as of right now.
Yeah.
2018, written and directed by Panos Cosmatos, which already is the perfect name for a cosmic horror director.
Yeah.
It is like I saw it one night. I think it was like a midnight showing in Los Angeles, and it blew me away. So I'm glad I talked about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. Chris, what you got?
I picked Richard Stanley's Color Out of Space, which is, I believe, came out in late, what was it, 2018? No, wait, late 2019. And
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw it at the beginning of this year. It did have a theatrical release.
Wait, beginning of 2019.
No, it was late because
Right?
I saw it in like January of this
Oh,
year.
I think you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I've seen it like 4 times already this year, and I love it. I think it's probably the best adaptation of a Lovecraft story so far. But Richard Stanley is planning 2 more, so I can't wait for that. And it's awesome.
Nice. All right, so I picked an oldie but a goodie, 90s film called Event Horizon. Stars Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne, among others. And
The wild card pick.
The wild card, the nostalgia pick, really.
Yeah.
Definitely the most sort of like mainstream studio friendly movie of the 3. Loved it when I was younger, and it's a fun one to revisit. So yeah, Event Horizon for me. And then since Chad's not here, we'll go ahead and just say his pick. It's Beyond the Black Rainbow, and
which is also
was the director
directed
of
by
that one?
Panos Cosmatos.
Yeah, also
Right,
directed
so
by
you
him.
have-
It came out before he did Mandy.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
yeah. There's not a
So
lot of
some
cosmic
very-
horror directors out there. It's a really
Yeah.
untapped genre.
and
Yeah.
to be warned, I believe most of these movies are quite long, or
Yeah.
at least pretty long. So buckle up if you're gonna
2
join us
hours
on this
each.
journey and
Yeah.
watch all 4 of these movies. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. Okay, cool. Well, anything else to add before we wrap it up for the day?
Nope. Just go out and vote, guys.
Vote.
Yes, we're getting close.
Yeah.
Vote.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, Sammer, why don't you hit us with all the details?
We're basically on all social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, under A Few Good Movies Pod. On Twitter, we're under A Few Good Movies P. And then on YouTube, you can find us. You can listen. You can watch this on YouTube if you don't want to listen to it as a podcast.
And see our
On A Few Good
faces.
Pod. Yeah, and we'll see these amazing posters behind me and posters behind Zach
Yeah.
and Chris.
We've all spent so much time
I've got a
Yeah,
unicorn.
curating these backgrounds. Don't you want to go on YouTube and
we
look
can't
at them?
have guests come into our house, so this is how we show our house off.
Yes. Well, excellent. Cool. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Looking forward to Cosmic Horror, and that'll be coming this coming Monday. All right, we will see you next time on A Few Good Movies.
See ya.